Sounds good.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, or good morning from wherever you are tuning in from. My name is Angeline Constantinou, and I am the founder and CEO of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline, where we empower women to amplify their voice and help them step into their true purpose, identity, and calling in life. So, this podcast episode will be uploaded on my YouTube channel, which will be Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. We go live every Wednesday morning with new podcast episodes at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So let's break the silence with Angeline. You can find us on all live streaming platforms: Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the other live streams. So I have a very special guest with me today. So some of you know that I attended an amazing, I wouldn't call it a conference, I would call this an Activate 2023 revival event in San Diego, California. I love San Diego. Haven't been back in a long time, so it was great to revisit and connect with people with whom I know. But this particular Christian women's revival was totally amazing. It was really, really amazing, and I had the pleasure of meeting Dawn Rose, and she is a biblical leader, and she's also U.S. Army veteran. And I had the pleasure of meeting her, and then we had the gala event on Saturday night. So I crowned Dawn Rose. So she is the daughter of the King. You know, we are believers, huge believers in Jesus and God, and I feel so happy and blessed because God is doing amazing things in Dawn's life. So read a let me just read a brief bio of Dawn, and so you know who she is. So Dawn is a veteran of the U.S. Army. She has a master's of science in information technology, and she is a two-time certified radiant leader working on becoming certified as a radiant speaker. She is a biblical life coach working with women who have been through trauma begin the healing process. So, you know, what's unique about Dawn is also a domestic violence survivor. And this is one of the reasons why that Dawn is on, you know, we're going live today. So, Dawn, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Angeline. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome because I know it's a pleasure to have you here because I know that when we met 2 weekends ago, it was life-changing for both of
Oh,
us. And I
yes.
know especially life-changing for you.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so life-changing. So, yeah,
yeah.
so before you partnered with the organization that we are part of, what did your life look like? Because I know that you went through domestic violence. So I know that the audience would love to hear your story because we
Uh,
bring real life stories here to my
of
platform.
course,
So
of course.
go ahead.
So, it's a really long journey, but the short version is for about okay. So I joined the organization in 2022. In 2017, I left my abuser. I ran away from my abuser. So I had 6 years in between, or 5 years in between there. But um, the abuse was 7 years of drug use and a physical, emotional, all the above. And we had been married for 20 years before it got started. So I went from having my best friend to having, all the stuff happen. And when I left him, I was still on drugs. I was still, um, I was living from couch to couch, different friends, different family members, just completely at rock bottom, not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do, not following Jesus. Um, just, I was having a lot of health issues. Um, just really in a sense of a place where I didn't want to live anymore. I just wanted everything to go away and, whatever. And then one day I woke up and said, enough is enough, and said, okay, I'm going to do something, with my life. And I haven't looked back. I'm 20 months sober. I've been saved. I've been baptized by water. I've been baptized in the Spirit, and I've been with this company for almost a year now, and it's just totally, completely changed my life. And I started a program called Healed Women Heal Women. That's a 90-day healing program to get women from trauma to get started on that process. You're muted. You're muted.
I muted myself for a reason. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so
No
this is real life. Okay, so yeah, so that must have been, wow, what a journey. Yeah, what?
This last year has just been so different for me. I mean, I went through, and with domestic violence, you get yourself cut off from all your friends, from all your family, from your belief
Right.
system, from everything. And then it takes a long time to get that back, because you don't feel, I don't know, for me, I don't know about a lot of other women, but for me, I didn't feel worth it. Like my life wasn't worth that. And so it took me a long time to believe in myself in order to get started on that healing and reclaim who I was.
Right, right. Reclaim who you were. So what were the strategies that you implemented to reclaim your power back, to get your
Well,
life
first thing,
back in order? Because there's
right,
a lot of women who lack resources, or like when they, like it's financial. There's a
right,
lot of financial devastation.
right.
So what did you do to pick yourself back up again?
Well, luckily for me, I am a veteran of the Army, so I did have income. So that wasn't so much a barrier to me as it was just finding resources. Like first thing I did was start going to church. And once I got into church and I started having that family around me, I started feeling more like I deserved to be alive, which was the first thing, because I had a hard time with that. I tried to commit suicide a few times, and I had so much health problems that I just felt like it would be easier to just not go through it. So once I started going to church, it gave me that desire to live, that desire to want to do better and do something for myself. I then started following Trent Shelton, the motivational
Oh, I love
speaker.
Trent Shelton. I follow him too. Yeah.
Yeah, and through him, I found his life coach, John Pruna, and I started working with John Pruna, and I worked with him for about 6 to 8 months, something like that. And it really, really, really completely changed my life, because he got me started believing in myself. The community there got me started. It's called Rare Breed, and they are relentless. They're not going to let you go down that rabbit hole of that self-doubt and that self-harm, that self, just the stuff that you're left with after domestic violence. So it was a very good breakthrough for me going through that with him.
What a breakthrough. Trent is amazing.
Yeah,
I
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes. And how long were you in that program?
About, I think it was somewhere between 6 and 8 months. 6 to 8 months. Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
After that, Don Howell started praying for me. Don Howell's my
See?
mentor. See,
She's our
yes, she started
mentor.
praying for
Dawn
me.
Howell's our mentor.
Yes, and she wouldn't let it go. And finally, I said, "Okay, tell me what you're talking about. Show me more about what you're doing." And so I started following Girl Power Alliance, and just it changed my life. I mean, I started doing all the courses, and I got certified as a leader, radiant leader, and just now I'm just focused on that. I'm focused on Jesus. I'm focused on, I have put up barriers with all my toxic relationships outside of, everything I'm doing. And it's just, God's doing a lot.
God's doing amazing. Yeah, I can see that
Yeah.
God is doing amazing
Yeah.
things in your life, and I can see the transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, spiritually, you look great. I remember when we met, I was like, wow, radiating. You are glowing. You're still
A whole
glowing
lot
and radiating.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was very to myself, just didn't really take care of myself. I was at a place, like this wouldn't have happened 20 months ago. I would never have gotten onto a live call. I would never have been at the Activate weekend. I would, those things I wouldn't have done because I was so stuck in my mess, before all this.
Right.
So, but, mm, so since we went to Activate, I think I told you about this, I ran into my abuser, I ran into my ex-husband,
Yes, tell us about
and
that.
I had a face-to-face with him. Now, I left him in August of 2017, and I've seen him 2 times since then. And both of those times, I didn't really get to talk to him too much. First time I didn't talk to him at all. It was just in passing. And the second time I talked to him for like 5 minutes, or not even that, less than that. And it was just, I felt uncomfortable around him, very uncomfortable. This time at Activate, I had a few people praying for me over the situation, over that, plus another relationship that I needed to break the soul ties from. And when I saw him, my heart broke for him because I could see he's still stuck. He's still stuck in the addiction. He's still stuck on the street, and he's not doing good at all. And I didn't feel no fear. I didn't feel no animosity towards him. I didn't have no anger towards him. I walked away praying for him. And I felt like God had delivered me from that whole chapter of my life. And I feel so much weight off of my shoulders since then. Just, it's amazing.
Forgiveness is, something I believe that women struggle with. Now, men too, because abuse goes both ways.
Yeah.
So it was just that God just took over. I mean,
Yeah.
what was
I don't know. I always felt like if I ran into him, I would have all this stuff to say to him. All this, anger. At one point, I wanted to harm him myself. That was long before I got, saved and all that. But, yeah. And when I saw him, it was just like nothing. Like there was no ill feelings at all. The only thing was that I felt so heartbroken for him because I could see him, and I know this man, and I know he could do so much more, and I know he knows God, I know he knows the Bible. So to see him that way still after all these years, it just really broke my heart. I had forgiven him a while ago, and I think this is the problem a lot of women have, is they think forgiving is forgetting and just saying it was okay what they did, and it's not at all. It's not saying what they did was right, not that it was okay, and that nothing, whatever. It's letting go of that so that you can feel free from the weight of what happened, just letting that go and let God take care of that part of it. And it just is so freeing once you can do that.
Once you can do that is right. And forgiveness is also a form of self-care. So
Yes.
you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
the only person who can change is your ex.
Yeah.
You can't do it for him. I
Right.
can't do it. No one can do it.
Right.
He has to be willing to change. But the fact that you forgave him, I mean, this was like literally face to face.
Yeah.
I remember reading that message and that prayer, and I was like, oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah. And the amazing thing is okay. So and I've shared this with you, but I live in a homeless shelter for people out here in San Diego, and I was walking from there to my mom's house to go take care of her, and I usually walk the same route every morning. Every morning, I've been doing it for a couple weeks now, and that morning I happened to switch it just one little corner. I went around the building this way instead of that way, and there he was. And God was like, "Okay, it's time. Let's do this."
Right, let's do this, right?
Yeah.
So you
So
took that detour. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. What did the revival, because this was your first Activate, and it was also my first Activate.
Mhm.
What did that do for you? What was your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest, how did you feel? Like yeah,
Wow. Well, I was one of the women who got.
and you were, muted.
Somebody tried to
Okay.
call in.
No, that's okay. That's
Apologize.
okay. That's
So,
okay.
I was one of
I
the
know you
women.
said you were one of what, 21 women who were
I
baptized.
think it was 27. And actually, I think it was 27 the first night, but I think a couple more got baptized the next morning that weren't able to. Yeah. So I think we were closer to 30 people.
30 people
But
baptized. Yeah.
yeah.
What did it
And
feel like? Because I
man,
watched it and I filmed you, by the way.
it
So
was so I don't know. I got baptized as a kid, and that was just, everybody was doing it. I felt like, okay, let's do this, but I didn't really have the relationship or whatever. And I never even kept going to church. I would go every once in a while. So it really didn't change my life. And then I got baptized as an adult. And again, it was just, I was going to church, felt like it was something I needed to do. I was caught in that religion part of church, just doing it
me
because
too.
everybody else is. So then when I got saved, a month later, I got baptized out in the ocean in my hometown. And that one really transformed my life. And I have done so much since then. I felt when we had this happening, I was like, I'm not going to do it just because everybody else is doing it again. Right. And I felt God nudge me, say, no, you've been through so much over the last year and a half that I want you to go wash and leave it all in the water. And so I said, okay. And I did. And I think that's why everything has happened since then, with my husband, my ex-husband coming and saying, look, now that chapter is closed. And just,
Right.
I think the biggest thing I took away from the whole thing is that these women who love Jesus so much come together as a community and just lift each other up, and they build each other up. And I felt like I was going home to visit family. That was, and I wasn't sure what to expect, because I've been to different things, different church events and stuff. And it was good. I felt the presence of the Holy Spirit and stuff, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like a family of people coming together and just loving Jesus. This, I cried almost the whole weekend just because I was so happy. And I would find myself like sitting in the corner and just take it all in, just watch what everybody was doing, all the prayers, all the laughter, all the loving, all the hugs, it was just amazing. That's all
I
that's,
agree. Amazing and transforming.
yeah, definitely.
Did you ever feel an emotional crash after the event? Did you feel a little
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Yesterday.
okay, there you go. So I'm not the only one. Posting that crash, I call it.
Yeah, I've been riding that high since the weekend. And, I didn't have to do all the traveling everybody else had to do because I'm here in San Diego. But I've been burning that candle ever since. And then yesterday I finally just crashed. But today I feel like just renewed, just refreshed, and just ready to, my goal is to bring 10 more people with me next year. So I'm on a mission to find those women. God will show me.
God will show you how to find those 10 women. And there are
Definitely.
over, let me just think, 3.8 billion people on Facebook.
Yeah.
So one of the things that they talked about, which I am really super excited about, is Real Men Alliance.
Oh yes, we definitely need that so much. And and I've been listening to it coming, it's coming, it's coming. But hearing Bobby Schaefer talk about it and what it's really going to be just really blew my mind. He is the right person to be leading that. That's for sure. He's got the heart for it. Yeah.
He has the heart for it, exactly. Because
Yeah.
men need it too. Men.
Yes, they do. They need
Yeah,
the outlet. They need
they
the
need that
outlet with other men. Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like we have the outlet, we have the support,
Yeah.
we have the community. And I could see, like for men are looking for community and support.
Yeah.
I call it brotherhood.
Definitely.
In our
Yeah.
case, it's sisterhood.
Yep. They
Sisterhood.
do.
So did you
Absolutely.
feel that sense of sisterhood community?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Like I said, it feels like a family to me. People from all over the world, Ireland, the UK, Canada. Just and to hear everybody's story, especially the women that got up there and did their Kim Tens or shared, their testimonies or whatever.
That
It's
was,
not even words. It was so emotional and so awesome to hear those stories.
oh, I agree. I agree. The Kim 10 is going to be, yeah, that's next level.
Yeah, yeah. And I got lucky to come in the day before and listen to everybody's. So I got to hear more than a lot of people did. But oh, you guys are amazing. I can't even give words. I mean, it's so impactful just listening to the stories. I have my own story, but to hear everybody else's, like, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. We're joined in that way. We have that connection because we've been through some stuff.
Exactly. But your story is real. And I know because it hit my soul and it hit my heart because I got involved in network marketing 14 years ago after escaping and leaving my abuser. So, and I know what that feels like. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on the show because, I'm not a U.S. Army veteran, but we have similar stories of escaping domestic violence. And there are a lot of women out there who they feel hopeless, but I know there's hope.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the key for me was being connected with God again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So these ladies who are looking, for hope, because it's a victim mentality and there's only so long, there's only so much that you could be in survival mode.
Right.
How long were you in survival mode until you were able to move into your true purpose?
I'm going to say about 4.5, almost 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then once I started working with John Pruna, it started to peel back those layers. And that's where my program, my 90-day program came from, is what I did, the work I did with him, the stuff that worked for me is what I wanted to bring to other women. So we go through a whole physical thing, an emotional, and then a spiritual thing over 90 days to build up habits, self-care habits, getting into the Bible, getting into some kind of a community where you can have the support and everything. So, yeah.
Okay, good. That's great. And how long have you been running that program?
It just started. I just soft launched it in May. I have 2 women I'm working with, and we're going through the program right now to work out the kinks.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
You see that? I love soft launches. That's great. That's great. So where can people find you so they can be in contact with you?
Well, I'm on pretty much all the platforms. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I have a brand new Instagram, of course. But I also have a group on Facebook called Healed Women Heal Women. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, good. And what I will do is after the broadcast is over, I will get all your links.
Okay.
Right now you can find Dawn Rose on Facebook at Dawn Rose. And then on your Instagram, what is your Instagram handle?
They're all Coach Dawn Rose on Instagram. It's an underscore between Dawn and Rose.
Okay. And all of that will be in the show notes for this Wednesday. So, yes. Oh, and TikTok, because TikTok is.
Yeah, Coach Dawn Rose on there also. Yep.
Oh, good. Keep it consistent. Okay, great. Coach Dawn, and I will follow you on TikTok under Break the Silence _Angeline. It's a great platform. TikTok is huge. TikTok is a really, really good platform. So in closing, because this has been a really, really great interview. We're also live on my Facebook fan page. I was able to go live. So what is a special message that you would like to share with the listeners and the viewers who are going to be watching the replay today and Wednesday morning? What is a special message that you would like to share, for the women? Because, who are in domestic violence situations, are looking for resources, financial help.
First and foremost, don't give up hope. You're not alone. God's with you. All you have to do is reach out, and He's there. He hears every cry, every tear. He's there. But also you're not alone, because there's a lot of us out here that are willing to help get you to those resources, get you to the next step, get you through the healing, get you started. Just reach out, because we're here. We're here for you.
Okay. There you go. There you go. We are here for you. We are here for you. And that's what, my podcast is all about. We provide the resources and the tools so you can move into ownership of your life.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yes, definitely. So, Dawn, thank you so much for being a guest on my show. I'm so
Thank you for
happy
having
and
me.
blessed. And we were meant to connect.
Yes,
We were,
yes, yes.
it, yeah. And your story is making an impact on many women's lives. And I can see that. Just watching you go on the stage, I think it was Friday or Saturday. I was in tears. I
Sorry.
was like, I need to get up there. But but it reminded me when I was first involved in network
Yeah,
marketing
yeah,
to go up on stage and just share your story. And don't be afraid. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry because guess what? People are looking for realness and authenticity.
yes, definitely.
Definitely, definitely. So,
And that's why I
okay,
appreciate you, Angeline, because you are all of those. You're
thank
authentic
you.
to her. So
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
your heart. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. And blessings to you also. So, what I'm going to do is this. Um, so, thank you all for joining us today. So, this podcast episode will be uploaded Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So, on Spotify, Google, Apple, all the other live streams, and on my YouTube channel, which is Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So thank you so much for joining us today. Dawn, please hang out with me in the green room just for a few minutes. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and brand new week.